let's get a little bit of Major League Baseball action in here. SBRodds.com, the best place on the internet to go through and check these line movements. How about this one, Teddy? Those Red Hot Twins we were just talking about. How about Gio Gonzalez, the old Sage veteran out there? Open up at plus 112. Teddy, I'm looking at SBRodds.com right now. Now sitting at minus 112. Brewers, Twins, Gonzalez, Pineda, total of 9.5. Cooler conditions here in Minnesota. A little bit of rain and the wind blowing in, but those Brewers are a favorite.
Yeah, sure. And, of course, Minnesota enters the game with the best record in baseball. They're 36-16. They're on fire. They've won 11 of the last 12, including 6 in a row. They're 19-6 in the month of May. They've hit 54 homers this month. They lead the MLB in batting average, 273. Home runs, 104. Slugging percentage, 520. OPS, 863. Runs scored, 315. And run differential, plus 111. Do the markets care? No. They don't care. They don't care one bit. All they care is the starting pitching matchup, and that's what the money's coming in on the less hot of these two teams for. It's certainly a surprise to me. I don't get it. Minnesota's playing good ball. Milwaukee isn't, but it's all about the starting pitching matchups. This isn't the only one we're going to talk about where a surprising team taking money in early betting action on Monday.
We're not going to talk about a surprise here yesterday, Teddy's. You won on the Oakland Athletics and got my head kicked in the back of the head when I took those Seattle Mariners yesterday on the road with Mike Leake. Now heading back home. Hey, Teddy, when you want to stop a losing streak, when you're not playing that well, how about you send your ace to the mound today? Well, it looks like the Mariners are doing that with Tommy Malone on the mound. Now, before you get a little bit of a chuckle at that, Lance Lynn's going to oppose him. Teddy, looking at SBRodds.com, another interesting situation. The favorite opens up as Texas, but when we see that ace, Tommy Malone on the mound, we now have the Mariners favored by minus 128 here today.
Yeah, and again, current form, no piece of the equation when it comes to these overnight line moves in MLB. It's all about starting pitching matchups. Look, the Mariners are now 2-17, their last 19 on the highway after losing again yesterday. But they went 3-3 in the last homestand. Remember that 13-2 start? They're 10-30 since. But the markets are fading last limb every game. You know, Rangers had won 8 out of 9. They just had 2 straight losses, 2 straight bullpen losses against the Angels. That might be a sign. And, of course, Lynn is coming off a 120-pitch effort in his last outing against the same Mariners squad. But, boy, he's owned this team. Struck out 20 in 14 innings, giving up 3 runs, 10 hits, 4 walks against them so far this season. Lynn's pitched well against Seattle twice. You know, it's not like Malone's not a tired retread. You know, 2 runs, 3 hits, and 5 innings against Texas last time out. But the market's like he had his strikeout pitch going. The velocity was there for Malone. Struck out 6, walked only 1. Hence, the Seattle money today, despite their current struggles.
Always fun to take a look at Game 1 of the NBA Finals here today. The Raptors actually flipped to a favorite in Game 1. We talked about it a little bit earlier. We'll delve into it a little bit now as well. Raptors favored by minus 1, even though they were opened up at plus 1, and still a prohibitive underdog in the series despite holding home court. It'll take place on Thursday night, a total of 215 money line split, you know, right around even where you think it'd be minus 105, minus 115. You know, and I also want to talk, Teddy, because you're going to go over a couple numbers here. The value on the series here, because it sort of boggles the mind saying, wait a second, if you have one side that's almost a 3-1 favorite, why are they even getting points in Game 1? We talked about it before last week on the show. The rested and ready Golden State Warriors, been there, done that, versus a Raptors team that's hot. But now, look, we're talking about a hot team, Teddy, not playing on like a Sunday and then flipping around playing on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. They're going to get a couple days off here. Are we going to ride the hot streak so far with the Raptors, or is there a reason why that line flipped from Golden State to a favorite over to the Raptors as a favorite?
It's an interesting line move, and it shows that there is, without a doubt, some wise guy support for the underdog in this series, despite the fact that the Golden State is a 2-time defending champs 3 of the last 4 years. They've brought home the hardware, and the 1 year they didn't, they were in the finals as well. What the markets don't appear to like is a long layoff for Golden State. You know, we talk about a 10-day layoff. That's significant at this time of the year. And, of course, the Raptors are 8-2 straight up at home in the playoffs, 7-3 against the spread. One of them was a, lucky cover in Game 3 against Milwaukee, where they covered in double overtime. But nonetheless, they've been making money for their backers, although their history of Game 1 failures looms large for this one. And it's worth noting, you know, where Toronto was able to survive and advance past Milwaukee, despite a no-show series from Danny Green. Danny Green was, 6 of 32 from the field. He didn't make a 3-point shot in the last, 3 or 4 games of that series. they're going to need Danny Green to step up from game one. You can't put Van Vliet and Lowry on the floor together against Golden State's bigger guards. I think that'd be a problem. So they're going to need something from Danny Green. And the market's saying, watch out for him in the finals. He's had his fair share of success in NBA finals past.